Character actors that made you smile in westerns. I have talked about western character actors before, and there are many, both in movies and TV. Back in the day, they often played in both. Today I'm looking at some of the most colourful, the ones that often stole the limelight and lit up the room with their presence. You will know most of them, I'm sure. They're all gone now. Let's keep their legacy alive. Let's have fun and celebrate the genre. If you enjoyed this video, take a peek at my channel for more. The link's in the description. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to share with your friends. The more, the merrier. John McIntyre possessed the prerequisite grit, craggy features, and crusty, still-eyed countenance to make for one of television and film's most durable character actors in westerns. Walter Brennan, arguably the most successful character actor of American sound films, the only actor to win 3 Oscars for the Best Supporting Actor category.
What you want to go to California for?
See the Pacific Ocean.
It's just like the Gulf down Atlantic Bay.
George Gabby Hayes, the most famous of Western movie sidekicks of the 1930s and 40s. In real life, he was the exact opposite of the characters he played on film. He was well-read, well-groomed, serious, and highly philosophical. Harry Carey. Both Harry and his son, Harry Carey Jr., were honoured with stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and the Golden Boot Award from the Motion Picture and Television Fund Foundation. Inducted into the Hall of Great Western Performers of the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum in 1976. Lee Marvin began as a supporting actor of ornery and vicious demeanour, then transitioned into a star of both action and drama movie and TV. If you think that this legendary tough guy didn't play colourful characters in his westerns, let me offer you these roles. The half-scalped Tully Crow in The Comancheros, 1961, the bully with psychological problems, Liberty Valance in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, 1962, the drunk, over-the-hill gunman, Kid Shalene, and his vicious no-nosed brother, Strawn, in Cat Ballou, 1965, the hard two-fisted drinking and hard-fighting Ben Rumson in Paint Your Wagon, 1969, the aging cowboy, Monty Walsh, in Monty Walsh, 1970. Strother Martin, a character actor who rose to considerable fame in the last decade of his life, known for the famous line from Cool Hand Luke, "What we've got here is failure to communicate," listed at number 11 on the American Film Institute's 100 Years, 100 Movie Quote lists. Ken Curtis, usually playing the kind of scruffy, backwoods, uneducated, deep south hillbilly types. While appearing in John Ford westerns, he initially utilized his musical talents before turning to straight acting. In Rio Grande, 1950, he was a guitar-playing, lead-singing tenor with the Regimental Singers. In The Quiet Man, 1952, he played an accordion and sang tenor in the bar. Andy Devine. His high-pitched, gravelly voice was the result of a childhood accident. While running with a stick, some accounts say a curtain rod, in his mouth. He tripped and fell, ramming the stick through the roof of his mouth. Unable to speak at all for almost a year. When he did get his voice back, it had the wheezing, almost duotoned quality that would ultimately make him a star.
Just when I was starting to get my appetite.
Woody Strode, athlete turned actor, Strode was a top decathlete and football star, becoming part of Hollywood lore after meeting director John Ford and becoming a part of the Ford family, appearing in 4 Ford movies. No Western actor character list is complete without him. Also, he is one of the first African Americans who broke the color barrier in professional NFL football. Paul Fix, a well-known movie and TV character actor who played Marshal Micah Torrance on the TV series The Rifleman, 1958. It's said that Fix taught John Wayne, a lifelong friend, his famous and familiar rolling walk. When Wayne was starting out in the business, looking for something to set him apart, Fix suggested the rolling gait that became his trademark. Chill Wills, colourful character actor of westerns, named Chill as an ironic comment on his birth date being the hottest day of 1902. He was nominated for a Best Supporting Actor Oscar for his role in The Alamo, but his blatant campaign to elicit votes cost him the award. One of his ads read, "Win, lose or draw, you're all my cousins, and I love you. Your cousin, Chill Wills." Jack Ilum, colourful character actor, adept at vicious killers or grizzled sidekicks, made a career with his eerie, immobile eye, which was caused by a fight with another kid at age 12. It happened during a Boy Scout meeting when another boy took a pencil, threw it, and it jabbed his eyeball. J.C. Flippin would probably be characterised these days as one of those craggy, distinctive faces you know but whose name escapes you. While viewing scores of old 1950s and 60s films and television series, playing both sides of the law throughout his career, known for his huge cranium and distinctive bulldog face. Kathleen Freeman. Freeman's introduction to show business came very early in life. Her parents were vaudevillians. She made her debut at age 2 in their act. She was bitten by the acting bug and never looked back.
When I'm down, with enough wind to turn them both.
You're pulling my leg, Howdy.
Slim Pickins. Pickins spent the early part of his career as a real cowboy, and the latter part playing cowboys. He is best remembered for a single cowboy image, that of bomber pilot Major King Kong, waving his cowboy hat rodeo style as he rides a nuclear bomb onto its target in the great black comedy Dr. Strangelove. Agnes Morehead, first woman to co-host the Academy Awards with Dick Powell, 1948. She appeared in 5 Best Picture Oscar nominees: Citizen Kane, The Magnificent Ambersons, Since You Went Away, Johnny Belinda, and How the West Was Won. Harry Morgan, a prolific character actor who starred in over 100 films and was also a stage performer, known to a younger generation of fans as Colonel Sherman T. Potter on MASH, 1972, was regarded as one of the busiest actors on television, who had continuing roles in at least 10 series, which combined with his guest appearances amounted to hundreds of episodes. Longtime friend of John Wayne. Arthur Honeycutt, lean, tall character actor, known for playing humorously wise Western roles. He was one of the very few actors who were almost always bearded.
And from what I've heard, we might have a run-in.
Eli Wallock, one of Hollywood's finest character method actors. Eli Wallock was in demand for over 60 years on stage and screen, and has worked alongside the world's biggest stars, including Clark Gable, Clint Eastwood, Steve McQueen, Marilyn Monroe, Yul Brynner, Peter O'Toole, and more.
Problems isn't our line. We deal in lead, friend.
So do I. We're in the same business, huh?
John Kading claimed near the end of his life to have appeared in more movies than any other actor, surpassing the record set by Donald Crisp. He has appeared in 8 films that have been selected for the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. The Invisible Man, The Bride of Frankenstein, Stagecoach, The Grapes of Wrath, Johnny Guitar, The Court Jester, The 10 Commandments, and The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Edgar Buchanan. His friend of many years, Glenn Ford, once told a story of when Edgar was preparing to do some painful dental work on him. The anesthesia consisted of others passing by and allowing the patient, Glenn, to take swallows of whiskey to help ease the pain of the process. About every third drink Glenn took, Edgar took one as well. Was originally a dentist, with his own practice. At age 38, he turned the practice over to his wife and began his acting career. Ward Bond, gruff, burly character actor. Although John Ford mocked many actors mercilessly, including John Wayne, Bond probably was on the receiving end of the most verbal punishment from the director, who counted Bond amongst his favourite actors. At Bond's funeral, Ford walked up to Andy Devine and said, "Now you're the biggest arsehole I know." Victor McLaglen, rambunctious British character actor. Contrary to popular belief, he was of Scottish ancestry, not Irish, and later character actor primarily in American films. Victor McLaglen was a vital presence in a number of great motion pictures, especially those of director John Ford. Will Geer. For well over half a century, I have never gone a day without getting acquainted with some other person, and in those times, I've only had my face slapped once and been called a few names. I'm a lifelong agitator, a radical. A rebel is just against things for rebellion's sake. By radical, I mean someone who goes to the roots.
Ain't been too lucky, huh? No.
Dan Duer, on how he prepared for the obnoxious characters he often played. At first it was very hard, as I am a very even-tempered guy, but I used my past life experiences to motivate me. The one I used when I had to slap a woman around was easy. I was slapping the overbearing teacher who would fail you in their holier-than-thou class and enjoyed it. You can't make a picture without a villain. It pays well and you last.
I figured you'd be carrying a gun.
What's the charge?
Murder.
If you want to see all my new videos as they come up, subscribe and hit the notification bell.
Try to escape.
Catch all my other videos by looking at my
It'll make it
channel.
easier for me
The
to
link
gun
is
you
in
down
the
like you did
description.
my brother.
Leave me
In
your
the
comments.
back.
Check out my Facebook page as well. Like and share. I am Wrangler. Adios. See you again soon.
Come on. We're going in.
Interesting facts about famous people.